Hello students, in my last class I have discussed about Wheatstone's bridge and also the practical application of Wheatstone's bridge, that is a meter bridge. So meter bridge is used to find out the resistance of an unknown resistor, the value of resistance using the principle of Wheatstone's network. Next, in this class we will move on to the next topic, that is potentiometer. Potentiometer. Potentiometer is a device which is used to find out the potential difference accurately. So why we are saying it is accurately means, if we consider a voltmeter, voltmeter is also a device which which is used to find the potential difference. If I consider a voltmeter, if this is a resistance R, if current flowing through this is I, when current is flowing into this resistor, here we have a junction, so that a little bit of current also flows through the voltmeter. So that voltmeter is drawing some current from this, therefore we cannot measure the value of voltage here accurately. So it is drawing some current here. That is why this device is not so accurate. If the voltmeter having a infinite resistance, then it cannot draw the current, then we can measure it accurately. But practically voltmeter draws some current from this, therefore we cannot measure the voltage accurately. But using a potentiometer, we can measure the potential difference in a circuit very accurately, because this uses a null deflection method. So now let us learn about potentiometer. Potentiometer consists of a wire of uniform thickness. The length of the wire varies from 1 meter to 10 meter, which is clamped between two ends, and it is provided with a scale This is connected to a primary circuit with a variable resistor here, or sometimes we can use a standard resistance box. This forms the primary circuit of a potentiometer. What does the principle of potentiometer says? Principle of potentiometer says that when a steady current flows through the potentiometer wire, potential drop across any portion is directly proportional to length of that portion. Yes, this is the principle of the potentiometer. This forms the primary circuit, and this is a potentiometer wire of uniform thickness having a length varying from 1 meter to 10 meter. Here, if I want the potential drop across this length, we'll say the length is L, then the principle of potentiometer says that when a steady current flows through the potentiometer wire, the potential drop across any portion is proportional to its length. That is, V is proportional to L. The potential drop across the length is proportional to the length of that portion. So if I remove this proportional sign and if I write a constant, I will write the constant as phi, and this phi is known as potential drop per unit length. V is equal to phi into L. This phi is a constant which is called potential drop per unit length. Yes. So this is the principle of the potentiometer. And if you see the applications of potentiometer, there are three main applications of potentiometer. One is to find the EMF of a cell. Potentiometer is used to find the EMF of a cell. Next, to compare the EMFs of two cells. To compare the EMFs of two cells. Next, the third one is to find the internal resistance of a cell. So these are the three main applications of potentiometer. It is used to find the EMF of a cell. Next, it is used to compare the EMFs of two cells, and then to find the internal resistance of a given cell. Now, using the potentiometer, let's find out how to compare the EMFs of two cells. This is a standard resistance. Sometimes we use a rheostat here. This is a battery having an EMF of E. Next, this forms the primary circuit of the potentiometer. Now, we have to connect the two cells in order to compare the EMFs of them. So, let us connect a cell here and one more cell like this. The positive terminals of both the cells are connected to this end A. Then we can use a two-way key here, and this in turn connected to a galvanometer, and then the galvanometer is connected to a sliding contact, a jockey. So first, this forms the secondary circuit of the potentiometer in order to find the EMFs of these two cells. Let us say that EMF of this cell is E1 and EMF of the second cell is E2. Now, from the principle of potentiometer, it says that when steady current flows through the potentiometer wire, the potential drop across any length is proportional to the length. So here we can write across this length when galvanometer shows the zero deflection or null deflection. So using Kirchhoff's rules, we can say that E1 is equal to potential across this length. This EMF of this cell is equal to the potential drop across this length. Now E1 now can be written as phi into L1, where this L1 is the balancing point. So this L1, the length of the portion of the wire, is nothing but a balancing point. Therefore E1 is equal to phi into L1. The EMF of this cell is written as phi into L1. We already know that phi is a potential drop per unit length. I will call this as equation 1, and this is the EMF of a first cell. EMF of a first cell. Next, similarly, if I write EMF of the second cell, EMF of the second cell. So for the second cell, using a two-way key, what we have to do is we have to disconnect the first cell from the circuit and we can connect it to a second one. So we are connecting to the second cell now. The second cell is in connection. Therefore now if I find out another balancing point, I will call that as L2. So somewhere here we are finding the balancing point, so that EMF of this cell E2 is now will be equal to the EMF E2 is equal to phi into L2. So call this as equation 2. So using the principle of potentiometer, what we have written is EMF of the first cell for this balancing length is written as E1 is equal to phi into L1, and for the second cell the same thing is E2 is equal to phi into L2. Now if we divide equation 1 and 2, dividing equation 1 and 2, what we get is E1 by E2 is equal to phi L1 by phi L2. So I said that this phi is a constant, so that we can cancel phi and phi here. Therefore we get E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2. So we get an expression as E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2. So the ratios of EMFs of these two cells can be written as L1 by L2, where L1 is the length of the portion where we get a zero deflection in the galvanometer, and similarly L2. So that by measuring those balancing lengths, what we can find is, or what we can do is, we can compare the EMFs of two cells. If E2 is known, so we have measured the EMF of the second cell by some other method, or we know this value of E2 very accurately, then what we can do is take this E2 to the right hand side, so that E1 is equal to L1 by L2 into E2. So you can find the EMF of one cell if you know the EMF of the second cell using this method. Therefore this is the procedure for finding the, or for comparing the EMFs of two given cells. Next we will move on to the next topic, how to find the internal resistance of a given cell using a potentiometer. Let us connect a cell of EMF E, and along with this we have to connect another resistor or with a key, and here we also have another key K1, here we have K2. Yes, this is the circuit for finding the internal resistance of a cell. So here we have connected a cell of EMF E and internal resistance R. So this has to be find out now. Using the principle of potentiometer, we know that when steady current flows through the potentiometer wire, the potential drop across the any length is proportional to the length of the portion. So here, if I make the current through this resistor to be 0, so that this K2 is open. So initially, if K2 is open, K2 is a key, so if this key is open, no current is flowing through the resistor as well as the cell. So that if I measure the potential difference across this cell, that will be equal to the EMF of a cell. So the EMF of a cell is now written as E is equal to, if I find the balancing point somewhere here, I will call the length as L1, this length L1. So if I make the current through the galvanometer to be 0, so the EMF of a cell is now can be written as phi into L1. The EMF of a cell is equal to phi into L1, because L1 is the balancing length. Now call this as equation number 1. Now what we have to do is, let us close this key. So since this resistor is having some finite value, now current flows through the resistor as well as a cell. So we know that the potential across the cell when the current is flowing through it, which is called as terminal potential difference, Now, if I want the terminal potential difference, again I will make the current through the galvanometer to be 0, and I have found the balancing point somewhere here, L2. So I am getting a balancing point somewhere here. So this L2 is the balancing length for this terminal potential difference. When K2 is closed, the terminal potential difference, terminal potential difference is written as V, and that V can be written as phi into L2. So using the principle of potentiometer, the terminal potential difference across the cell is equal to phi into this length L2. Therefore this is phi L2, call this as equation 2. Now again let us divide equation 1 and 2 so that E divided by V is equal to, we are dividing equation 1 and 2, therefore E by V is equal to phi into L1 divided by phi into L2. So again cancel phi and phi, you will get E by V is equal to L1 by L2. But this V can be written as, from Ohm's law, voltage is equal to current into resistance, I into R. So if I substitute this V by I into R, this will be equal to L1 by L2. Let me write this I as E divided by R plus R, because we know the equation for current flowing through the cell. Current flowing through the cell is equal to E divided by R plus R. So we have deduced this equation in the previous classes. So I is written as E divided by R plus R, and this is equal to R. We can cancel this E and E now. This will be equal to L1 by L2, and what remains is R plus R. I will take this R plus R to the numerator because this is in the denominator of denominator. So R plus R divided by capital R is equal to L1 by L2. Now if I take this R outside, this will be 1 plus R divided by R, that divided by this R. So R and R gets cancelled. This is equal to L1 by L2, and finally we can solve for this R. 1 plus R by R is equal to L1 by L2, and I will take that 1 to the right hand side. So R divided by capital R is equal to L1 by L2 minus 1, or this R is equal to, I will take this R to the right hand side, so that this is L1 minus of L2 divided by L2. So we get an expression for internal resistance. Internal resistance R is equal to capital R into L1 minus L2 by L2. So by knowing the external resistance, the value of this external resistance, so this is known. L1 and L2 can be found by using, we have a scale here, so we can measure this L1 and L2, where this L1 is the balancing length when K2 is open, when no current flows through the cell, and this L2 is the balancing length when K2 is closed. Therefore R is equal to R into L1 minus L2 by L2. So using this expression you can find the internal resistance of a given cell. So we have studied, in this class we have studied about how potentiometer works, or how potentiometer measures the potential difference across the circuit. So we defined that potentiometer is a device which measures the potential difference across the circuit accurately. So why we are using the term accurately means because voltmeter draws some current from the circuit, so that the value may not be accurate. But if you measure using a potentiometer, it will shows the accurate reading. And it is also a multi-purpose device. It's a versatile device because you are not only finding the potential difference, and you can also compare the EMFs of two cells, as well as you can find the internal resistance of a cell. That is why a potentiometer is better than the voltmeter. Thank you.